The living force reveals infinite paths, each a thread in destiny's tapestry. I am Qui-Gon Jinn, and from beyond, I witness a timeline where young Ben Solo chose differently in Snoke's throne room, where Kylo Ren died not by lightsaber, but by choice, and Ben Solo rose to stand with Rey against the darkness. This is their untold story of balance restored. The crimson blade hissed through the air, splitting Supreme Leader Snoke clean in half. His golden robes crumpled to the polished obsidian floor as Rey's lightsaber flew into her waiting hand. For a heartbeat, the only sound was the electric hum of weapons and the distant rumble of the Supremacy's engines. Then, chaos erupted. 8 Praetorian guards advanced with weapons crackling. Rey and Kylo moved as one, their blades singing in perfect harmony, blue and red painting deadly arcs through the air. They fought back to back, turning and striking with synchronicity that defied explanation. "Duck!" Kylo shouted. Rey dropped without hesitation as his blade swept over her head, catching a guard mid-lunge. The last guard fell, and silence descended once more. Kylo Ren stood among the bodies, his grandfather's melted helmet visible on its pedestal, and for the first time in years, truly saw himself. The manipulation, the lies, the puppet strings Snoke had woven around him since childhood. His lightsaber deactivated with a sharp hiss. "Rey," he said, "I can't do this anymore." She kept her weapon raised. Through their force bond, she felt genuine anguish. Years of pain and manipulation crashing down in a single moment of clarity. "He's been in my head since I was a child," Ben continued, whispering, twisting every doubt, every fear, and I let him turn me into this thing. Ben unclipped his lightsaber and held it out to her, hilt first. "I'm done being Kylo Ren." Rey studied his face, not the mask of Kylo Ren, but something rawer. Ben Solo, buried beneath years of darkness, clawing his way back to the surface. She took the lightsaber. "We need to go, now." They ran through corridors painted in emergency lighting. Ben led her through maintenance shafts toward a shuttle on Deck 7 that wouldn't be logged in the system yet. An explosion rocked the ship. Through a viewport, they could see the medical frigate blooming into plasma and debris. "My mother," Ben breathed. "She's alive, on the command ship." They reached the shuttle just as Hux's voice echoed through the communication system. "Supreme Leader Snoke is dead. The scavenger and the traitor Kylo Ren are to be terminated on sight." The shuttle lifted off as blaster fire peppered the hull. Rey worked the controls while Ben activated the stealth systems, knowledge that would prove invaluable in the days to come. On the bridge of the Radis, General Leia Organa studied the tactical display. They were down to 3 ships, 400 souls. The First Order would catch them within the hour. "General," Lieutenant Koenig said, "we're receiving a transmission coded with your personal cipher." The hologram flickered to life. Her son stood before her, looking lost and achingly young. "Mother, I'm coming home." Behind him, she could see Rey, and understanding dawned. The Force sang with possibility. Not the future she had foreseen, but something new, something better. "Ben," she whispered. Poe Dameron stepped forward, face hard. "General, you can't seriously be considering—" "Commander Dameron, prepare a docking bay. Minimal security. That's an order." The shuttle docked quietly. Rey emerged first, Ben behind her. Smaller without the mask, shoulders bent under the weight of his choices. Resistance soldiers raised weapons. "Stand down," Leia commanded, walking forward slowly. Mother and son stood face to face for the first time in 6 years. He fell to his knees, and she pulled him into an embrace. "I know," she whispered. "I know, my son." Poe's voice cut through the moment. "This is touching, but the First Order will be here in 40 minutes. Unless your prodigal son has a plan, we're still dead." Ben stood. "Crait has defensive capabilities Snoke never logged. The shield generator can be modified to create a localized hyperspace distortion field. 3 days, maybe 4. And then? Then, you need to be ready for what's really coming." Snoke was never the true threat. The next hours blurred in desperate activity. Ben worked alongside Rose Tico, his knowledge of First Order technology proving invaluable. Meanwhile, Rey and Finn explored the abandoned base, following a pull in the Force that grew stronger with each step. They found themselves in a natural cave system, crystals glittering like stars. "Do you feel that?" Finn asked, voice hushed. Rey nodded. The Force was practically singing here. This is why Luke chose this place. A Force Nexus. Ben was right. We can hold here. That night, Leia called a meeting. The surviving Resistance leadership gathered. 4 dozen souls who would decide the galaxy's fate. I know what you're thinking, she began. How can we trust him? But if we're going to survive, we need to believe that redemption is possible. Ben activated a holographic display. The First Order will arrive expecting you defenseless. When they can't penetrate the shield, Hux will order a ground assault. He's predictable. He marked positions on the map. Modify your ski speeders with cannon assemblies from the gun turrets. It's not pretty, but it'll work. Finn spoke from the back. How do we know this isn't a trap? You don't. But in 6 hours, when they do exactly what I'm telling you, maybe you'll start to. That night, Rey found Ben on the observation platform, the Force swirling around him like a living thing. The pain doesn't go away, she said softly, but you can choose what to do with it. They stood in silence before Ben spoke. Snoke spoke of his master sometimes, someone ancient who's been waiting since before the Empire fell. The Sith were just the latest incarnation. This is older, darker. Then we'll get ready, together. Dawn brought the First Order, Star Destroyers blotting out the sun. On the Finalizer's bridge, Hux stood rigid with fury as turbolaser fire dispersed across an invisible barrier. They've created a hyperspace distortion field, a technician reported. Impossible. The Resistance doesn't have that technology. No, Captain Peavy said quietly, but Kylo Ren does. Hux's face went puce. Prepare ground forces. Everything unfolded as Ben predicted. Modified speedsters harassed the advancing ATM-6s while Rey and Ben descended into the crystal caves. Ancient carvings covered the walls. Not Jedi or Sith, but something older. It's about balance, Rey said, tracing the symbols. The Force isn't light or dark, but both, like us. What if our bond is meant to be something else? Above, the battle raged. The First Order pushed forward methodically. In the command center, Leia watched with growing concern. When Hux demanded surrender, she bluffed about Ben knowing every command code and weakness in his fleet. It bought them an hour. In the caves, Rey and Ben deciphered the ritual, channeling the Force through crystals to create an impenetrable barrier. It required 2 in perfect balance. Together, Rey extended her hand. Ben took it. Together. They sat facing each other and opened themselves to the Force. It rushed through them. Rey's light and Ben's shadow, distinct but inseparable. The crystals began to glow. Above, as the First Order prepared to breach the base, light erupted from the planet's surface. It spread across Crait like a wave, and where it touched, First Order equipment failed. Walkers stumbled, weapons powered down. Even Star Destroyers experienced massive system failures. In the Crystal Cave, Rey and Ben knelt at the center of a Force storm. They saw each other truly, abandoned children who had found strength in different ways. Together, they shaped the ancient power. The effect lasted only minutes, but it was enough. Hux ordered retreat. This isn't over, he snarled. Rey and Ben collapsed, exhausted but alive. Their bond had transformed into something they had forged themselves. That night, Leia addressed the survivors. Today, we survived. But survival isn't enough. We need allies. We need to show the galaxy another way. Ben stepped forward. By being what the First Order isn't, they rule through fear. We'll lead through example. The Force isn't just for Jedi or Sith. It's for everyone. Over following days, word spread. The Resistance had survived. Ben Solo had returned to the light. Those who dreamed of something better began to hope. Rey and Ben studied the ancient texts, speaking of a time before the Jedi-Sith schism when Force users sought harmony. They began training others, including Finn, whose sensitivity grew daily. I can feel them, Finn said during meditation. Other stormtroopers who want out. They began broadcasting on First Order frequencies, stories of escaped stormtroopers, of life beyond white armor. A trickle of defectors became a stream, each bringing intelligence and hope. But in the unknown regions, aboard a massive hidden ship, Emperor Palpatine received Hux's report with ancient amusement.
Young Solo has betrayed us. No matter. He has played his part perfectly. Did you think the First Order was my ultimate weapon? No, General. Now, the final order arises.
In hidden shipyards, 1,000 planet-killing Star Destroyers prepared for war. The Sith Eternal chanted in darkness. On Crait, Ben woke, grasping. Rey was beside him instantly. I felt him, Ben said. The Emperor. Palpatine. But that's impossible. Is it? You said Snoke spoke of a master. If Palpatine lived, everything they'd achieved was just the beginning of a larger war. Over the following weeks, the resistance grew. Ben's knowledge allowed them to strike supply lines. Rey's mastery inspired others. Former stormtroopers joined daily, proving change was possible, but time was running out. On Exegol, Palpatine's final order prepared to reveal itself.
Soon,
The Emperor rasped.
the galaxy will kneel before the Sith, and the Skywalker line will end forever.
On a hidden moon where the resistance had relocated, Ben stood with his mother, watching Rey train Force-sensitive refugees. She saved me, Ben said, when I'd given up on myself. That's what we do, Leia replied, taking his hand. We save each other. He's out there. Palpatine. I can feel him like a shadow. He's coming. Then we'll be ready. All of us. Together. As night fell, the Resistance prepared for the battle that would decide everything. Not just weapons and ships, but ideologies. Fear against hope. Darkness against light. In her quarters, Rey ignited her lightsaber, watching blue shadows dance on the wall. She had Ben struggling toward light with every step. She had Finn, whose compassion could reach any soldier. She had Leia, whose strength held them together. And she had the truth. The Force wasn't meant to be divided. Her comlink chimed. Rey, Poe's called a meeting. Our contacts have intelligence about Palpatine's location. Walking through the base, watching Resistance fighters and former stormtroopers working side by side, Rey felt the Force singing. Not the lonely song of Jakku, but a chorus in harmony. The final battle was coming, but Rey truly believed they could win. Not through power or fear, but through ordinary people choosing to be extraordinary. Through redemption offered and accepted. Through balance, hard-won and precious. The saga of the Skywalkers wasn't ending. It was transforming. At its heart stood two Force users who had found in each other not just power, but understanding. Not just alliance, but balance. The Force had awakened. Now it was time to see what it could become. If you enjoyed this journey into an alternative Star Wars universe, where destiny takes unexpected turns and balance means something entirely different, make sure to subscribe to our channel. We explore the infinite possibilities hidden within the galaxy far, far away, asking the questions that reshape everything you thought you knew. The Force has many paths. Come discover them with us.